How's it going, everyone? Last week I was working on creating the CLI from scratch, the CLI framework, and now I think I have a skeleton or something. And today I wanted to add just two functionalities into the CLI. And on the next video, I already going to implement the SSH app. So this one, this CLI one that I'm working right now, I've not created the library yet. So I'm gonna push the library to cargo once I have like three functionalities implemented, but then I just want to go through the process, see if everything's working or not, and then I'm gonna go working backwards and fix everything. So that's my way of thinking. That's my way of working. I know that's not the best practice, so but that's the way it is. So I wanted to show you guys what I made so far. So you have here a new example. It's called show input example. So let's go here and show you how it works. So now we have the input form. And the input form now is showing the input that we work on Rustable. So let's see here. It's not working properly. Okay, so then that's Lucas. So that is something that I need to fix in order to actually the value keep to be kept into the CLI, into the CLI running. But you see now that the input return a value. So how it works here, I'm gonna show you right now. Just remove this guy and remove this guy because we don't need them because we just want to show the input. So this is actually the input as at its best. And what it does is I create this input form here that's called this function called show input that I created. And the show input is a basic implementation of the input form where we receive some values, add some values to the text input new, and then we create the paddings, and we clean the terminal, and we run the handler input, and then we get the text input to actually print this out, the input out, the returning. So that's all it is on the input. And now I feel like that creating a show input form here is not the best way, I believe. So what I wanted to do now is on the CLI config, I wanted to create a function that's called add input. So the add input now is going to work to actually implement the input form that we want. So let's see. Okay, so add input, we're going to get our mood self, not the name, that's static. No, not. Let's work backwards. So like what I want to create here is create the input action. So create the input action. And the input action are going to be the same as the guy that we're going to use move here, as you can see here, because it's a capture closed environment by value and converts any variable captured by reference or multiple reference to variable captured by value. So yeah, so you capture the value that is on that execution. So then I'm going to do a show input form. That's it. And then we need placeholder. So I need here placeholder. You need a placeholder, and the type is a string. Yeah, it's just str. This one and str, and then I need a text and then label. Okay, perfect. We have this guy here, so we created that now. So we're gonna create a command. So the command is the command config, and we're gonna create a new. Sorry, new UI return because we want to return a value. We get the name, description. So like we need the name, description, and action. Name, description, and the action is going to be the input action. So you can do it yes, new, and then input action here. Perfect. And then this is going to be in str as well. In str, that's it. And the description needs to be str. So let's do this. Okay, so you have the command created, and then you do itself, and then add command. Boom. Because now what we have here, okay, add input. Maybe we don't need here. I'm not gonna return self. Let's just save here. So add input. Self then. Let's do self then. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I don't think we need that. Okay, so that's just to add the input here and the description. Cannot find found description. This is here. Oh, description. Sorry. Give issues, give issues. And I feel like we don't need to return anything yet. It's just that we don't need to return anything because you're not going to be returning. You're going to be adding the input. Okay, let's see. Or that escapes outside the method. Okay, so maybe, yeah, maybe need this as static as well. Probably because, yeah, so static and static. Let's see. Yeah, let's just do all this with these guys here. This, this. Sorry, I'm not good in commands. Okay, perfect. So now we have the add input. So how we gonna do this on our show input? So instead of this guy here, so we're gonna be doing a add boom, add input. Let's go and work around. So let add, maybe we don't need that. With CLI add input. That's it. So name description to so we don't need this. We just like input command, input command, and then the description must be um, name for user. Placeholder is your name. Initial text, John Doe, and the label is your name. And hopefully, we're gonna be now reducing the amount of commands that we added here, and then you can actually run the input form. Let's see. No. Oh, I'm recognizing input commands. So one of the things that we did here, so let's just go. Okay, so this is the name of the argument that we're going to pass through this guy here. So this guy here is the argument that we pass to the CLI. See, done. Let's see if we can do now. No, I feel like there's a thing on the first enter that I press. It's returning the initial value, and then I have to delete again and pass the value again. Yeah, see, and then receive the value. So okay, so we made the actually the add input. So probably I'm gonna go back to the show input form. Let's see, so the handle input. So the handle input here is handling the input, but then probably this guy here. Okay, let's just remove this guy and let's see. Okay, so it needs a result there. Sorry. Okay, it needs it because I'm returning this string. Yeah, so this guy needs a result. The show input form needs result, and yeah. So one of the things we need to figure out is how the add input actually has to return a string. So on the input action. So when we execute command, so let's see, when you execute the command, we need to return the value. So one of the things I need to figure out now is that on Rust, it's like when I'm add the command and when I execute the command, so I'm executing here, how we can actually return the value. I think I have to get the value from this guy. So probably I'm gonna need to add a new functionality here so I can cap these values and return, and then when the CLI exits, I can return, I can get that value back. So, but not gonna be doing this right now. I just want to actually show the TUIs on the terminal. So one of the things I need to fix there now is the return of the value here. That where I pressing enter is cleaning up and getting the initial message. But I feel like if I don't have initial text, if I don't have initial text, and I do this guy, and then Lucas Oliveira, it's deleting. So if I do it again, it's getting the text. So I need to fix that. No problem. So I wanted to do now just one small thing. So that one of the things that we done now is that we create the CLI. We now add a functionality that actually adds the input that's coming from a Rustable. So on this wrapper here now, I wanted to create then a functional function text area. I want to create a text area, and you're going to be using the example. So I'm just going to grab the example here from the text area. So this is the text area example, and let's see, yes, just do like that, and then yeah. So this is don't need result at the moment, so we just do this like at the moment. Okay, so let's remove this guy. Let's remove this guy. And then we can do the same as here. So I have flush, unwrap, and then raw mode. So that's this guy here. And then I can execute before the handle area here. And then can disable and path. And then can disable here. So I can just, yeah, disable raw mode, unwrap, unwrap. Okay. The text area, I can just import, and I can just import here the handle text area. Boom, finally. Okay. I can just print line this, and we have now a text area created. I just using the example that I made while I created text area for Rustable. So like this is the basic TUI, and now we wanted to actually now create it. So label is so text area. So I have text of X string, cursor X, Y, offset, and label. So I want to now to have label, and label is going to be passed here. It's an str, and the helper text that visible lines there. Text area render. No. Handle text area is here. So like text area. Okay, visible lines. We want to actually as well to visible lines. Visible lines, how much as a use size? Okay, so visible lines, let's add it here. Okay, and this is label. Yeah, so we wanted to pass the label on the text area. So on our guy here, we're gonna add another functionality. Start again. Add another functionality here. It's called function add text area. And text area not going to receive anything as of right now. I'm going to do let text area, and then we get this same thing. Yeah, those text area from the wrappers. All right, so now we gonna pass here label and 6. I think that's the area, the visible lines. So we pass label here as well as end str, and we pass the visible lines as a use size, and then we can just get this guy here. Okay, all right, so now we can add this as a command now. So let command goes command config new UI, yeah, probably new UI, and then you can do self add command, and then the command. Basically, that's what we're doing. So we need now as well name and description. So we just copy paste here, copy pasta, perfect. And what's going on here? So returns is, but it returns. Okay, so text area needs to return. Let's do a result string error as well on this guy, and then we can pass okay test 2. Okay, text 2 is passing. So text area now have text area. Expect the closure to be closure returns error, but it returns result string error. No, okay, so because of the new UI, it is expect to return a result that this guy here. So we don't need actually on the wrapper to return anything here. We just need to return this guy, and then we need to return this guy here, and then it fix it. It's no. Let's go down here. It fixed it. Okay. So what the problem here on the add text area self add command. Oh, we don't have a self here as well. So we need to with self. So on the input example, we did that, but then we're gonna do need to touch examples show text area example. Yes, and then we can just get here show text area example and examples, and then boom, you can just copy this guy and boom. Okay, so now you see our config. Let's see our text area config. Perfect. So now we're not gonna add an input, we're gonna add a text area. Name description, blah 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 blah. So the name is gonna be input text area. Remember, this is gonna be the argument that we need to do it. Description, small text area. You're gonna have a label, right? Why do you like this UI? This UI. And the visible lines, I'm gonna put 6. Boom. Okay, now that we have this guy here, it can remove, can remove this guy, put this guy. Okay, all right, let's do that. So now you need the show text area example. And then this is gonna be text area argument. Let's see, it's not, all right, perfect. That's our guide. We have this now text area just written here, and then Captain S to exit, escape to exit. Perfect. I believe now that we made a lot of advances into the CLI framework. I'm gonna generate the first version of this library. It's gonna be on Create now. You guys can go there and download it and use it if you want. But this is just actually a kind of skeleton of what I wanted to do. So I'm gonna be improving. I'm gonna be adding more functionalities on the CLI. I don't feel I need to create more videos about it because basically everything that I needed to do for the CLI is done, and now it's just like tweaks and fixes and add more functionalities and more functions, more UI functionalities. And then I will be the next video now going to be doing the SSH application itself. So how are we going to be able to use the CLI framework to add these TOIs and then run the SSH application and rendering these TOIs into the SSH app itself. All right. So it's it's been really nice to be doing this, been doing like all the skeleton, all the behind the scenes of the SSH application, and now we're gonna be doing a big part of it. And if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and probably next week we're gonna be posting the video about the SSH app. So comment down below what you think, what are the mistakes that I made, and if you want to help, please help on the repository. Is open source, everything is open there, everything is transparent. Okay, so thank you very much, thank you for watching, and see you next.